Okay, guys, quick yes or no. Can you guys hear me? Are you guys ready? Any questions before we start? Right. So I'll just quickly wait. If anyone has any questions, let me know. Okay, great. There are no doubts. Let's continue. I'll just zoom in my screen so we can see. Okay. So yesterday, Indrani, how to find keys from a value in dictionary? Indrani, there is no way to do that. There is no way to find keys from a value in dictionary because three different values can have the same key, can have different keys, or one value can have 5 different keys. There's a question assigned. Yeah, so the answer is no. Right? I mean, see what you can do. I mean, it's not the most correct way, but I will show you one way. Suppose the assumption here needs to be that the values are unique. Suppose the values are unique, you can find out values. You can convert that into a list, right? Suppose you convert that into a list. Yeah. After using a list, suppose you try to find out the index of the value 20, you get the index 1. Then you can do d1.keys. You can also convert that into a list and then try to access the particular index that you found above, and you would get the key V. Okay, this is one way to do it, but it always has to assume that the values are also unique. Because of two things have the same value, it will give you the first index, right? So you will find a key attached to it, but it might not be unique. Okay, understood? Great. Any other questions? Guys online? Great, let's start. So yesterday we learned about a compound data type called a set. A set in general is a little different than dictionaries or lists because it has one very important unique property. It is an unordered collection of unique elements. That means you can only have unique elements inside the set. Okay. The second important aspect is because it is unordered, it has no concept of location of any element inside the list. So an element is either inside the list or not inside the list. Okay. To check that, what we need to do is, suppose I have a set S1. I can use the in keyword of Python and try to find out if 2 exists inside the set S1 or not. If it does, it will give me true. If it does not, it will give me false. Everyone quickly create a set and check out these two statements and see if it is working for all of you. Right? I'll have a follow-up question after this. Is it working for everyone? The in parameter? Yeah, great. Just like other data types, a set also has a lot of methods, right? But a sets method is slightly different than list and dictionary, right? Because it does not have any aspect of location. So you can either see the difference. Set, to add an element to a set, you have the dot add method, not the dot append, because append adds at end. Extend extends the list. Add simply adds an element to the list, right? Set S1 dot add A, and your value got added, right? Similarly, dot remove, you can use S1 dot remove, pass the value that you want to remove, and your corresponding 5 gets removed. Okay. Remove also has another value, dot discard. You can actually discard a particular element as well. At the end, it is being added at the end. No, Abhishek. So visually, it looks like so. Okay. Visually, it looks like so. It's not actually that. Okay. Visually, aapke, I mean, just for the sake of users' ability to see it, it's possible. Okay. But it's not so. अभी तो देखो यहाँ पे -1 पहले ऐड हो गया. Make sense? It's not adding at end all the time. Okay, मतलब mentally you have to remove that block कि there is anything called position.
So
Okay.
is Python by default sorting the data?
So sorting set के लिए करते हैं because set uses something called as a hash map. A hash map is a faster way to access data in the memory. Okay, so that is why it sorts, because it actually knows where to look for about the data.
So how is the memory allocation happening for sets?
So set memory allocation works with hash map allocation. Hash map is a very different, I would say, concept altogether. So it is not dependent on the normal memory allocation that you see. Okay, so hash map, you see, right? So it happens something like this. ये जो key है ना, this key is always sorted properly, because this key, like for example, if I know that there are 10 values that I have and I have reached the first address, I can directly skip and jump to the 5th, right? So I don't have to go step by step. Suppose hash map has a value from -256 to +256. Okay, it knows the memory address of -256. Okay, this is known to me. Now, if I ask you to directly reach the 100th address, then you can just sequentially find the memory location you need to look for. So you won't have to go from -256 to -255 to -254. You can directly go to -100, right? So anyway, I mean, if you want more clarity, we'll discuss it after the class. Okay, I've also had feedback from students that sometimes we deviate from the actual topic. So let's complete set and then we can discuss it. Okay, but largely hash maps is something that you will not use if you're not doing core Python development. Okay, so this sorting or this positioning that you see, do not trust it. It might not be there when you actually use it inside code. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Coming to the dot pop, simple. Pop removes the first element added to the set. So this is a little different than what you had seen earlier. So when we were doing dictionary pop, then the last key value pair was getting added, was getting removed. That was called, which dictionaries have, LIFO strategy, which is last in, first out. The key value pair that came in last is the first to go out. But the set pop method follows FIFO strategy, which is first in, first out. So whichever element came in first, that is the one that is going to go out. So just imagine if you are standing in a queue, right? If you're standing in a queue, what does it follow? LIFO or FIFO?
FIFO.
FIFO.
FIFO, right? So the first person who enters the line is the one that will be served first. Now, if you have entered a lift, then
LIFO. Last and first.
okay, the person who enters last in the lift is the first person to move out of the list. Unless, I mean, out of the lift, unless and until people adjust and move. Okay. So I hope that was clear. LIFO and FIFO logic wise. Right. So as many times as you pop, elements will keep getting removed. Okay. Dot clear, again, simply, it will just clear your set and give you a new set. Okay. Now, you can use the dot add to add a single element. Okay. So dot add method adds a single element. Okay. Dot update adds multiple elements to a set by taking another set. So you can update a set, right? So I'll quickly ask you guys a question. Suppose this is my set S1, this is my set S2. Here, when I'm doing S1 dot update S2, I am getting a new updated S2. Okay, this is the new S1 I have got updated. Instead of S2, can I add a list here? List of values. I want everyone to quickly check, write down the code and see, instead of S2, can I add a list and will it still work? Yes or no?
So technically list can have repetitive elements or items, right?
Sorry, repeat that.
List can have repetitive items, right? So which is not allowed in set.
Yeah, but do you think I am working with the dot update method, which is part of a set? Right? So try to implement it, then I'll give you an explanation. Okay? Try to implement it. Then we'll look for an understanding. Does it work, guys? Yes or no? Now think why. I'll just get some water. I want you guys to think why. No. I'll give you an understanding. So when I use S1 dot update, whatever element or whatever object I pass here, Python knows that it can convert this to a set. If Python cannot convert this into a set, then it's a problem. Okay. If it can convert it into a set, Python will always convert it into a set and make sure that things are working. Okay, let me show you guys an example. Suppose instead of S2, I would have had L2 and I would have had some values. Let's say some repeated values also. Okay, this is my L2, L1. Whatever. Now you see 25, 35 and 46 have been added. Okay, 24 was here twice. Because this list can be directly converted into a set, Python internally did that for you and then put this inside update. So update automatically makes sure that whatever you're updating with becomes a set. Okay, that's one way of thinking. The second way of thinking is the dot update method internally will go through each element of the list one by one and use the dot add method to add one by one. Does that make sense, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, which part? This dot add method? Someone said no. Which part is not clear? Tell me. Okay, I can't hear you. Anyone else has a question? If we add integers directly to dot update, integers directly means you're saying like this? Yeah, you cannot do that because the dot update expects an object. Okay, it does not expect multiple objects to be added together. Remember, when we were doing dot append, we were adding a single element. But when we were doing dot extend, we were adding a list of elements that we wanted to extend. Do you remember that? Yeah. Okay. So dot update is a way to add multiple elements to a set at the same time. You can pass in a list or you can pass in a set. Because they are both convertible to a set, Python will auto convert and make your life easier. Okay. Internally, the dot update method calls the dot add method multiple times. For whatever elements you pass, it is going to call dot add that many times and make your life easier. That's it. Okay. How to remove multiple elements from the list by dot remove? Why are we coming back to list again now? Is there a, I mean, Rupam, is there a particular question you have, or is it just you're just thinking and you have a question, something like that? You can convert it into a set, obviously, and then typecast it into a list. That's one approach. Okay, how to remove multiple elements, or you can use the dot count, find out the number of occurrences of an integer or whatever value of a element. Right. Once you find the number of times it occurs, you can use the dot remove count minus 1 times. You can use dot remove and then you will have only unique values. So that's also another approach. I hope that's clear. Yeah. Okay. Coming to one of the most important methods of a set, it's the union operation. So everyone remembers that standard 11, 12, we had actually read about the Python joins. Python joins or SQL joins, whatever you guys would recall this one, right? So union basically takes all the values in A and B. Okay, left join takes every value in A and every value in B, which is also in A, but removes the only B section, right? Right join is opposite of left join, so it does the reverse, right? It will take every element which is a part of B. Okay. Intersection is the common value. Difference is the removal of the other value. So basically, if you want to find the difference of A and B, you are going to take A and subtract A intersection B from it, and you will get the A value. Okay. So this you guys might have covered definitely in the SQL class. Okay. So dot union basically combines the elements of both the sets together. That's it. Okay. And obviously, because it is a set data type, it will only have unique values. So if S1 and S2 post combination have duplicate values, they will be removed. Is that clear, everyone? The next method is the dot is subset. So is subset is basically a relative term. What do we mean by relative? Update and union are doing the same thing. Yes, fundamentally you can say that they are doing the same thing. Yeah, that is correct. Okay, so what do we mean by is subset relative? That means a set is a subset relative to another set. Okay, what do we mean by that? So states in India is a subset of states in the world. Okay, states in Eastern India is a subset of states in India. Okay, I hope that's clear, everyone. So when all values of S1 are also present in S2, this represents S1 is a subset of S2. Clear hai sabko? Yes or no? When all elements of S1 are also present in S2, then S1 is a subset of S2. And the reverse of that is S2 is a superset of S1. So if S1 is a subset of S2, S2 becomes the superset of S1. Superset का मतलब क्या है? All elements of S1 are present in S2. Okay, clear, everyone? Let's look at an example. So S1 is a set with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. S2 is a set of 1, 2, 3. Because all elements of S2, which is 1, 2, and 3, are also present in S1. So S2 is a subset of S1. And that is true. Okay. And because this is true, the reverse is also true. S1 is a superset of S2. And this is also true. And all other relations are false. Clear? Guys online, everyone, yes, no? Quick thumbs up. Any questions, guys? Okay. Now, just like superset and subset, we also have the dot difference and dot intersection. So suppose we have these two sets, right? So union hai yahan pe. This is union. Intersection is S1 dot intersection S2. So you get 2, 3. The common values were 2 and 3, right? Difference, all the elements in S1 that are not present in S2. Yeah, so you can do dot, 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 dot like that. Okay, so suppose you have S3 is equal to 4, 5, 6, 7. You can actually do S1 dot union S2 dot union S3. Okay, Asim, does that clarify your doubt? Asim, yes, no?
Yes, clarified.
Okay. So guys, also to understand this clearly, you need to know that because S1 dot union S2, right, it returns you a set. So when you do this dot union S3, you are applying a union on another set. Okay, which is why you can use multiple dot unions. Okay. Dot intersection gets applied in the same way. It finds out the common elements.
Sir,
Dot, yes, Pranavi.
sir, list में extend and set में union are the same thing?
No, because fundamentally तो list के अंदर आपका कोई restriction नहीं ना. You can extend whatever you want. Set में restriction है कि it has to be unique.
Huh, other than that, the method I'm telling. Extend में also I can put a list and union basically I'm clubbing there, I'm clubbing two lists, and here I'm unioning two sets.
Yeah.
So I can say that.
Yeah. So what you are saying is ki you are adding element to a compound data type. Yes, you are adding elements.
Because there is no method as dot union in list.
Yeah. So why will it be? Because union is not relevant to a list, right? Like we said, functions are generalized, which are applicable to all data types. Methods are specific to data types. Okay, so you will not find dot append or dot extend in set because it does not make sense. And you will not find dot union and dot intersection in list because again, it does not make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So dot difference, what does it do? It finds out all the elements in S1 that are not in S2. Okay. So if you can see S1 and S2 here, 2 and 3 are common in both. 1 is an element that is present in S1 and not present in S2. So if you do S1 dot difference S2, you will get this. If you do S2 dot difference S1, you will get 4, right? Because then in the second case, S2 has an element 4 which does not exist in S1. Okay. A very interesting and important example of application of sets is something that I want to show you here. Suppose I want to, let's say, I have a sellers district list and I have a buyers district list, something like this. Okay, let's quickly check it out. SDL, which is sellers district list. Let's say I have suppose I have these, and then I have buyers district list. Okay, here 2 are not present and 2 new values will be added. Okay, now if I ask you the question, what is the percentage of districts common for both buyers and sellers? Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes to think about it and write the code for solving the problem. Then we'll discuss the solution. Okay, but this is a very important problem because when you get data from large databases, because of the data inefficiencies or inaccuracy, you need to know when you are merging one table with the other or when you are using one information to feed to the other information, is the information complete or not? Okay, so what is the percentage match of districts common for both buyers and sellers? Okay, so start solving this problem. Let me know if you have any question.
Sir, can you please paste the values in chat?
Okay, has everyone solved it, or should I give you guys another 5 minutes? Was everyone able to solve it, guys? Yes, no? Shall we discuss the solution? 42%, 60%, 25%. Okay, Asim, another minute. Okay, Indrani has changed the answer to 42%. Riddhi 42%, Avi 42%. Let's calculate. Okay. So what is the percentage match of districts? What do you mean by match? Obviously, intersection. Does anyone have any doubts here? इस वाले में कोई भी doubt है? Guys, is this part clear for everyone?
Yes.
Right? Now, these are the matches out of total number of existing districts. These are the matches out of total number of existing districts. So I need to find out the total number of districts for which I will have to do union to get all the districts. There are some districts that are not in my buyers list. There are some districts that are not in my sellers list. So I'll try to find out the union to get all the entire set of districts. And then I will calculate the length of intersection, divide it by the length of total number of districts, and that will be 42.85%. Okay, I can multiply this by 100 and I will get 42.85%. Is that clear, everyone? Yes, no? Any questions? Great. So this is the next task. This will be a very quick one. So I have pasted the hands-on task. So get started. For this, guys, I will not give you a lot of time because most of the things are already there. You've already seen. For typing and everything else, I'll give you 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. So let me know if you have any questions and let's do this task. Guys, let me know once you guys are done.
Sir,
Yeah, go ahead.
so something is wrong. My code is not getting executed.
Okay, do you see a star here?
No, sir.
Okay, what do you see? You see a normal number.
Yeah,
So what are you trying to execute? What code are you trying to execute? Tell me.
that intersection one, S1 dot intersection S2.
It's not giving any display output.
Yeah, it's not. It's just giving me the same what I've written.
Check logically if the intersection value is correct or not.
Okay.
When you look at both the sets, what should be the intersection?
Uh,
Is it still not working for you?
so 1 minute, I'm just trying.
Okay.
Sir, it's not working when I do S2 intersection S3.
Okay, please go ahead and share your screen. I'll stop sharing my screen quickly.
Mm.
Oh, so you should tell me, no? It is no longer a code cell. Remember, you have to convert it into a code cell. Yours is now a raw cell. You see the at the top, there is a raw icon.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, you have to convert this into a code cell. I mean, that cell, which is S2 dot intersection S2. Click on that. Now convert it into a code cell. And now run it.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, you can turn your screen sharing off. Okay. Guys, any confusion in this entire assignment, or is it easy? Should have been very easy. So we create 3 sets. We add 100 to each one of them. Then we do a dot intersection S1, S2, and S3. I can either do this, right? This is 1 by 1, or I can do all 3 of them as well. So this is the 1 by 1 intersection. Is S3 a subset of S1 union S2? So I first did S1 union S2. This gave me a set, right? And then I used S3 dot is subset and tried to find if the above condition is actually true. Okay. Last one is find the net sorted values using all elements in 3 sets. So for that, I will first do a union of all 3 of them. And then I'm going to use the generalized sorted function and use reverse is equal to true for descending. And that will give me the descending order sorted value of the union of all three of my sets. Is that clear, guys? Everyone, any questions so far with respect to this question or this question? If it's not clear, let me know. I'll explain again. Guys online, is that clear? Just quick thumbs up, everyone. I got from 4 of you. What about the rest of the batch? 5 of you. Soni Sharma, Sampurna De, Rupam, Rahul, Pratim, Pranjal. Nice. Moparna, Madhura, Indrani, Ifra. What about you guys? Everyone? Done, eh? Okay. Cool. So guys, that was the end of the sets notebook. Okay. Now I'm going to quickly go to the next notebook, which is the if else condition notebook. Okay. So till now, we have actually covered all the ground that we needed to cover to understand the basic data types of Python. Okay. So data type understanding is clear. Now we will go to the two next fundamental steps, one of which is basically our if else condition, and the second is our loop. Okay. So let me quickly remind you, at the beginning of these sessions, I had told you that there are three fundamental facilities that every programming language should provide. Okay. Three fundamental facilities that every programming language should provide. The first one was dealing with data, that we have already covered. The second one is taking a different decision based on a different condition. And finally, the third one, which is doing things repeatedly. Okay. So now we are going to talk about how to take a different action based on conditions. Okay. So first we learn about the syntax. Okay. Suppose A is equal to 10. Now I give you a condition that if A is equal to 10, print yes. If not, print no. As simple as that. This is my condition. So how do we write this? We write and start with an if statement. The if is what gives you the ability to write condition or conditions. Then after that, you can provide selective action. Okay, selective action is the action corresponding to the truth of this condition. So if this condition is true, it is correct, then this action will be taken. So in our case, print yes is the selective action. What will be the condition? A equals 10. Remember, equal to is the assignment operator. It assigns a value to a variable. Double equals to is a comparison operator. It compares the value on the left hand side with the right hand side. Okay. So this is my conditional statement. Now you must be thinking, why this colon and why this gap? Yes or no, everyone? Why this colon and why this gap? So this colon represents the end of the condition. Okay. And this indentation or tab represents the boundary of actions for the condition. What do I mean by that? Suppose I want to take three actions. I want to print yes, then I want to print the value is 10, and then I want to print operation completed. Okay, so what do I do? If a is equal to 10, print yes. Now when I hit enter, Python automatically understands, Jupyter automatically shifts me to this place. Print a is 10, and finally print operation is completed. So this tabbed area is telling Python that all of these individual lines of code belong to the condition. So if I want to write a new line of code which is not dependent on the condition, I will start writing back from the previous line, from the previous orientation. And I will write if condition completed. Okay. So you see it prints like this. Now if I change the value of a to 8, then you will see it printed only the if condition is completed, because this condition was not true. If the condition is not true, Python will not execute the corresponding actions. Are we clear, everyone? Yes or no? Understanding of orientation, the line alignment, as well as colon and the condition, the if statement, and corresponding action. Is this clear to everyone? Yeah.
So that seems a little risky. I mean, if a tab is missed or, added.
Yeah. So that is why the moment you write if a equals to 10 and you hit enter, it automatically tabs for you. If I write anything here, then I hit enter, it again keeps the tab intact. If I want to move out of the if else block, then I have to hit backspace and come here. Okay. So that way the Jupyter Lab has actually, made your life easier. Clear, everyone, guys online? Any questions so far, guys? This is a little tricky, so I'd like to take as much time as possible so that it settles in before we move forward. Okay. Someone has
ये ऊपर print yes operations complete वाला print नहीं किया
because हमने a को 8 कर दिया था ना, तो ये कंडीशन फॉल्स हो गई, तो ये कभी यहाँ आया ही नहीं.
ठीक ठीक ठीक.
Okay. Now, till now, what we have just learned is how to add one condition. What if we have multiple conditions? For example, एक simple loop बनाते हैं. I'm giving a very simplified problem right now, just to make sure that आपको flow समझ में आए. A का value 10 है, right? And I want to define 3 outputs. What is the output? If A is equal to 10, then I should print A equals 10. Less than है तो less than print होगा, less than 10. More than है तो more than 10 print होगा. Okay. So I need to actually define 3 conditions now. Okay. So if A is equal to 10, I will print a corresponding action. A is equal to 10. Now I need to provide another condition. So the syntax for that in Python is ELIF, which is else if. Okay. So else if is when you want to add another condition after the if. So directly आप else if नहीं लिख सकते. It will not make sense. It can only come after an if statement has been written. So else if A greater than 10. Again, I will write the corresponding action, print A is greater than 10. And now I want to provide another condition. So I'll again go back, else if A is smaller than 10. And I will write print A is smaller than 10. Now, this when I run, it runs successfully and it tells me A is equal to 10. If I write 8, it will give me A is smaller than 10. If I write 12, it will give me A is greater than 10. Okay. So this is working, everyone. I'd like everyone to quickly write this out on your notebooks as well, just for practice and understanding the syntax. So quickly, guys, I'll give you all 2 minutes. Write down this code and test your code for values equal to 10, less than 10, and greater than 10. Okay.
सर इनपुट फंक्शंस लिख दे तो फिर अच्छा बेटर रहेगा ना, बार बार
I will do that
चेंज
later.
करना।
मतलब एक
अच्छा,
साथ में 2 कॉम्प्लिकेशन नहीं लाना चाह रहा. We'll do that.
ठीक 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 है।
Indrani, we'll come to that when we come to that. If you already know, you can definitely go ahead. I just wanted everyone to give a logical explanation of when to use else only. Okay, done by everyone. Working? Yes. Okay, awesome. So guys, in this particular example, as Indrani was mentioning, there's a very crucial part. The part is, if your conditions are exclusive of each other, okay, the if else needs to be defined properly. The second is, if your conditions cover all possibilities, the if else needs to be defined properly. Okay, so I will first take you guys through the program control flow structure. It's a complicated way of saying how the code works. Okay, suppose the value of a is 12 and my code starts executing from here. Okay, my code starts executing from here. If a is equal to 10, it checks. This condition will give me a Boolean value, either true or false. Let's say this gives me a value. For this particular case, it will give me false. The moment it gives me false, the Python interpreter from here directly jumps to this part. It never goes into checking this value or executing anything which is inside the indentation of this if. It will come here. It will see that there is an else if condition. It will check a is greater than 10 or not. This condition will give you true. The moment it gives you true, it will get inside the indented portion. It will execute the action corresponding to that. And from here, it will directly jump to this place. It will not check this else if. Okay. So point I'm trying to make here is, as long as no condition is true, Python will check every condition. The moment a condition becomes true, Python executes its corresponding action and jumps out of the entire if-else block. It will not check any further condition after successful comparison of one condition. Is that clear, everyone? Logically, fundamental idea wise. Okay. The flow is such that I'll take a pen quickly. Let's say it starts from here. It sees an if, it knows that it will have to check conditions. So it checks this condition. This condition right now is false. The moment a condition is false, Python does not go to this portion. This portion will not be checked. From this false checking, it will directly go to this place. Yahan tak clear hai, yes or no? Yeah. From here, it will see there is an else if. So another condition is coming. It will check this condition. Once it checks this condition gives you true. The moment it knows that the condition is true, it will immediately come to this part and actually execute this line of code, which is what you see here. A is greater than 10 is printed. It will execute this line of code. But the catch is, after executing this line of code, Python does not go to this place. It does not go to this place. From here, it directly goes to the next line after the if-else block. So if there are 10 else-ifs also after here, Python will not check any. The moment a condition is true and it has executed the statement, from there it will jump to the end of the if-else block. It will not check any more conditions. Is that clear, everyone? Yes, no? Yeah. So the first thing that you need to understand is, if your conditions are exclusive of each other, okay, if your conditions are exclusive of each other, you don't need to focus on the sequence of conditions. Suppose I give you a problem statement. The problem statement is, if age is greater than 40, then sell life insurance. Okay. If age is greater than 20, let's say 30, sell health insurance. Okay. If age is greater than 20, then sell credit card. If age is greater than 10, then sell savings account. Okay. So let's say this is my condition. Okay. If I write the if else like this, if age greater than 20, sell credit card. Else if age greater than 40, sell life insurance. Else if age greater than 30, sell health insurance. Else if age greater than 10, sell savings account. Suppose this is my code. Is this correct? Yes or no? Riddhi, why no?
Sir, it should be in sequential manner. It should start from 10, 20, 30, 40, like this.
It should start from
No.
should start from
Sorry,
10.
the last one should be the first one. 40 should be first, then 30, then 20, then 10.
Yes. So
Actually, yeah, another thing is like, say suppose 25, the age is 25, it is also greater than 10, it is also greater than 20. So it is ambiguous. Which bracket does it really lie?
no, it is ambiguous. I agree. The second thought is, we know that if this condition becomes true and this
Yes.
action is executed, post that none of these will be checked at all.
Right.
Right? So if you get age 25, right? In this particular case, it's true. But let's say the age in this particular case is 60. If the age is 60, it is greater than 20, so it will sell credit card. But what did we want? We wanted to sell life insurance. So what you have to understand is there exclusivity between conditions? Suppose this is 20, let's say 40, 30, 20, and 10. So we have to start in such a way that the first condition we write is independent of all conditions. So first condition you will give is greater than 40. Okay. Once you give greater than 40 and that condition is not true, then you know that the remaining is this portion. So then you give greater than 30. Right? Then you give greater than 20. Then you give greater than 10. Like this. You can never give a condition like greater than 10, greater than 20, greater than 30, because they are all merged into one. Did everyone understand my concern? Yes, no? Guys online? Yes? Okay. So your conditions should be logically sequenced and they should be exclusive and avoid the mistakes of ordering. Okay. That's number one. The second is, do you cover all possibilities? Suppose in this particular case, a number can be either equal to 10, greater than 10, or smaller than 10. Is there any other possibility? Is there any other possibility? Any number, real number, integer that you pick up. It will either be equal to 10, greater than 10, or smaller than 10. There is no other possibility of that number lying anywhere else. So what we have done here is we have covered all possibilities. But let's say we are not able to cover all possibilities. Suppose user input, user text input. I know that user can either enter no, or user can enter yes, or user can enter anything else in the world. Okay. So how do I define my condition in that situation? User input. Let's say user has input yes. So if user input is equal to yes, print thanks for confirmation. Okay. Else if user input equal to no, print canceling the transaction. Now I know that other than yes and no, because user is inputting manually, he can enter anything. So if these two conditions are not true, that means user has not entered something that I know, but he could enter anything. So in that case, I will use an else statement, which does not take a condition. So the else statement is applicable only and only if every statement above has been rejected. If none of the conditions above have been approved, then the else will run and I can write, please enter correct input. Is this clear, everyone? Here it was confirmation, then I write no, it will say canceling the transaction. Then I write some random thing, it will say please correct the input. Are we clear, guys online? Yes, no?
Yes, clear.
सबको clear हो गया? If and else. Right? So now quick summary. If can only occur once. Else if can occur as many times as wanted. Else can only occur once. Clear है सबको? Yes or no? Guys online?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
सर
Let's
कभी
yes.
ऐसा है कि जैसे मैंने कोई स्टेटमेंट लिखी इफ करके, देन आई मतलब ये एल्स इफ में यूज नहीं करा, देन आई यूज एल्स देन एल्स, इज इट पॉसिबल?
टू एल्सेस साथ में नहीं काम करते ना, बिकॉज अगर एक एल्स एग्जीक्यूट हो गया तो दूसरा एल्स आया कहां से? Which is why I said there can be multiple else ifs, but there can be only one if and only one else.
मैं एक्चुअली मैंने कई प्रैक्टिस सेट के लिए ना इंटरनेट पे देखा था, तो उन्होंने इफ के बाद एल्स देन एल्स शायद यूज किया हुआ था।
Okay, you are saying if let's say a equal to 10, मैं यही वाला कॉपी कर,
हो सकता है मैं गलत हूँ, बट शायद मैंने देखा था, तो
you
मैंने
are
कहा
saying
पूछ लो
else
शायद।
यहाँ पे
हम्म।
इस else का मेरे को लॉजिकल मतलब बता दो क्या हो सकता है?
नहीं नहीं, एल्स इफ की जगह सिर्फ एल्स मतलब जो आपने एल्स इफ लिखा है उसकी जगह मैं सिर्फ एल्स यूज करूँ। एल्स यूजर इनपुट इक्वल्स टू नो,
हाँ,
देन प्रिंट दिस।
you can use this only, that also works.
हाँ वही वही।
हाँ, जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको else if देना ही पड़ेगा. Let's say you know the right condition, everything else is wrong, so only one if and only one else, that's fine. So if must be there, can be there, cannot be there, else if can be there, cannot be there. Okay, so if can only occur only once, like I said, else can occur only once, but it is your choice if you want to have it or not. Okay, for example, if a greater than 10, print yes, बस ये भी चलता है। अगर मान लो a का वैल्यू 10 से ज्यादा नहीं होता है, a का वैल्यू 8 होता है, तो इसने कुछ नहीं रिटर्न किया, it did not give you anything. Okay, so this is also a valid statement. This is also a valid statement. And this is also a valid statement. Clear है सबको? Yes, no? Everyone, any questions? Okay, then let's do a quick task. Okay. Define a variable a and give it any value. Okay, you are supposed to fill this value. इसके बाद हम लोग input function देखेंगे to be better at this. Define a value, and if the value is even, print even. If it's odd, print odd. Okay, simple question. Write an if-else block to print even for an even number, odd for an odd number. Okay, let's get started. Let me know if you have any questions. You have 10 minutes. Okay, is it done by everyone or do you guys need a few more minutes? Is it done? Done for everyone, or whoever is trying, just let me know quickly. I can wait another 2-5 minutes. Not a problem. Okay, I think everyone is done. Let's continue then. Let me share the solution. So suppose A is any number 10. Let's say 15. Okay. So how do we know if a number is even or odd? Even means it is divisible by 2. When we say divisible by 2, that also means that the remainder is 0. Okay. When you divide a number by 2 and the remainder is 0, that means that number is divisible by 2 and it becomes an even number. And we know to get the remainder, we have the modulus function. So A mod 2 is equal to 0. This is my even condition. So if even condition, print even, else. I will not write any condition. Okay, I will not write any condition. Why? Because if a number is not even, it is definitely odd. Okay, mathematically. Clear hai sabko? Yes, no? Guys online? Even number gives you even, odd number gives you odd. Okay, thumbs up from everyone. Great. So we've discussed most of the requirements of this. For the sake of not having a lot of things in one place, what I will do, suggested yesterday, is that I will compile everything and I will just comment this part out. Okay. So when I share the notebook with you, it will be commented out. Now, what are the different conditions available? Greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, not equal to, and equal to. Okay. This is the basic structure that we just discussed. Okay. These are different examples. You can check it out. We've already discussed whatever we wanted to do. Okay. Let's first, I'm going to give you the, do we have case when in Python? No. Case is for SQL, right? For SQL case, for Python, if, as simple as that. Every language has to give you this conditional thing, right? So every language has a different syntax of giving you this ability. Okay. I want to quickly cover the input function. Okay. What is the input function? The input function helps you take dynamic inputs from the user. It helps you take dynamic input from the user. For example, input 1, input, please enter a even number, something like this. When I execute it, it gives me the ability to enter an even number. Let's say I enter an even number 10. Let's say I enter an even number 10. I can check my input 1. Is there any problem or is it fine? Is everything working correctly or not?
So 10 is being considered as text or string.
Yes. So by default, remember, by default, input function converts everything to string. Okay, because that's a very default way. Okay. If you want to collect an integer, you can just typecast after taking the input using the int constructor. You run it. I add 10 and now my input 1 is 10. Clear, everyone? This is the input function. Guys online? I hope the input function is clear. Any questions here? Okay. So if the input function is clear, now let's solve another interesting problem. Okay. So the question will go something like this. As a user, you will enter the salary and you will enter the duration you have been with the company. And based on the condition, if the duration is greater than 5 years, then you get a 30% bonus. If you get duration is greater than 1 year, you get a 20% bonus. 2 years, 25% bonus. Less than 1 year, no bonus. The output should be the final salary, including the bonus. Okay. The output on the screen should be the final salary based on the bonus. The input will be the salary and the duration in the company. So you can actually take two inputs like this. Okay, so you can say salary, which will be please enter salary. Okay, then you will have duration, right? I'll just copy paste the same and change the variable. Please enter duration. Okay, once you take the inputs, then you have to write an if else block that based on these conditions will print on the screen the final salary, which should include the bonus as well. Are we clear, everyone? Yes, no?
Sir, if I want float value, then I can write float here.
Yeah, completely your choice.
Okay.
Okay, guys, 10 minutes for this. Get started.
So can you copy paste the condition?
सर एक बार चेक कर लीजिए.
Sorry, is there a question?
सर वो चैट बॉक्स में भेजा था, एक बार चेक कर लीजिए क्या है
Okay.
करेक्ट.
पहला बात तो वेरिएबल हमेशा स्मॉल केस में होता है, एस कैपिटल करके सैलरी मत करिए. ड्यूरेशन ग्रेटर देन 5, प्रिंट सैलरी प्लस सैलरी इनटू 0.3 सही है. ग्रेटर देन 2, लेस देन इक्वल टू 5 ये गलत है, ऐसे कंडीशन नहीं डलती है. सो ये जो हम मैथमेटिकली लिखते हैं ना, जो आप इस तरीके से लिख रहे हो, ठीक है, दिस डज नॉट वर्क. इन पाइथन यू हैव टू हैव टू कंडीशंस, ठीक है, सैलरी ग्रेटर देन 2 एंड सैलरी लेस देन 5 ऐसे देना पड़ेगा.
ओके ओके.
ठीक है, बट आपको देने की जरूरत ही नहीं क्योंकि ऊपर वाला कंडीशन ऑलरेडी नेगेट हो गया ना, तो इट इज ऑलरेडी लेस देन 5 नाउ. इफ ड्यूरेशन इक्वल्स टू 5 जब आपने लिखा और वो सही नहीं है तो इसका ऑटोमेटिक मतलब ही है कि ड्यूरेशन इज लेस देन 5, राइट?
ठीक है.
So that's how you will proceed, guys.
Greater than
Yes,
equal to greater than equal to I can put, right, if duration is greater than equal to 5.
आपने यहाँ पे greater than 5 दिया, that means it's less than or equal to 5. एक ही बात है, इसकी जरूरत ही नहीं है, इसकी भी जरूरत ही नहीं है. Exactly equal आप यहाँ डाल दो, but otherwise जरूरत नहीं है. Is that clear, everyone? Yes or no? Solution, the one that you can see on the screen. $10,000, duration 3 years. I will get 25%. Guys online, how to concat a text with output? Okay.
सर लेस देन 1 ड्यूरेशन के लिए 6 मंथ्स के लिए तो हम उसको फ्लोट में चेंज कर सकते हैं. ड्यूरेशन को फ्लोट में चेंज कर सकते हैं, लाइक 0.5 मींस 6 मंथ्स अगर ड्यूरेशन है तो.
हाँ. Yes, okay, makes sense.
है ना. अगर मुझे किसी का 6 मंथ्स का निकालना है तो वो टीचर लेगा नहीं ना 0.6.
सही बोल रहे हो. सपोज फिर आपको यहाँ लिखा होगा एंटर ड्यूरेशन इन ईयर्स.
यस.
ठीक है, तो एंटर सैलरी व्हाटएवर, एंटर ड्यूरेशन इन ईयर्स 0.5 एंड यू गेट द सेम सैलरी बैक. ठीक है. Okay, Indrani's question is how to concat a text with output. Which output are you talking about?
Print.
Sorry, repeat that.
If I want to write this final salary is 12.
Okay. You remember I explained the dot format method of the string? We did this, right? This is it. This is where we were concatenating. So instead of this, you can just write this directly. Okay, you can actually have that everywhere. In this particular case, after your dot format, it will be salary into 0.2. In this particular case, oh wait, this will be 1.2, okay? And this will be 1.25 into salary. And this will be 1.3 times into salary. ठीक है, सबको clear है guys, everyone? Else में syntax error. Enter salary 50,000, number of years of service 3.5, and I get 62,500. Guys online, all clear? Any questions, any doubts, confusion, query? Okay. You guys have the energy to do more, or should I stop here today? Should we continue to further topic, or should we start quickly on the chat box, thumbs up for continue and cross for continue next week? Guys, I'll need review from everyone. Quickly, we are taking a poll. Abhishek says next week. Riddhi says next week. Indrani says continue today. Okay. Let's cover the additional 15 minutes that we were at a loss of. Okay. Now, so till now we were only discussing singular conditions. Okay. Singular condition means what? This is a single condition that has to be true or false for this to work. But now, what if I have to have multiple conditions? Okay. For example, for a transaction, for a bank transaction to be successful, how many checks does it need? It needs account balance greater than withdrawal amount. Okay, number one. Number two, account active. Let's say number three, password correct. I mean password or whatever, OTP. Number four, logged in to account. Okay. All of these checks have to be simultaneously true for the transaction to happen. So we need multiple conditions at the same time. Now, how do we add multiple conditions? There are two ways. The first is horizontal expansion. The second is vertical expansion, also known as nesting. Okay. Horizontal expansion means, let's say I have a let's be account balance is equal to 3,000. Active account is equal to yes. Password is equal to, let's say, some number, the OTP, and logged in is equal to no. Okay, suppose these are my four variables. Now what I can do is, I'm taking a pen quickly. What I can do is I can add four conditions in the same line. I can write if and then I can say condition one, attach the condition with an AND operation or an OR operation, then condition two, then again attach this, then again another condition, then again attach this, and then again another condition. What do I mean by that? I can write if account balance is greater than withdrawal amount. If account balance is greater than withdrawal amount and active account is equal to yes, and password is equal to 434235, and logged in equal to yes. If all of these conditions are true simultaneously, only then I will allow my transaction to happen. So then I will write print transaction successful, and then I will have, other actions like update database, send notification on email, send notification on SMS. Okay, so all of these things. So when I run this withdrawal, I'll have to specify withdrawal amount. Withdrawal amount is equal to, let's say, 1,500. When I run this, it does not give me any output. Let's say I will write an else. Okay, else I'll print transaction unsuccessful. So it gives me transaction unsuccessful. Can you tell me why the transaction was unsuccessful?
Not logged in and the withdrawal amount is less. So two of the conditions.
Withdrawal amount should be less, right?
Yeah. Sorry. So logged in is not
Yes.
equal to yes.
So logged in should be yes for the transaction to happen. So what did I do? I added multiple conditions all at once in the same line. Okay. Now, Another approach to solving this same problem is nested approach. What is the nested approach? If account balance is greater than equal to withdrawal, if active account is equal to yes, if password is equal to 43425, whatever, like this, and if logged in is equal to yes, then I will write print transaction successful. In this particular case, it did not say anything. Else print transaction unsuccessful. So it gives me transaction unsuccessful. So see, what did I do? Instead of having all the conditions and values compared at once, I created a nested loop and a nested if-else block. The advantage of the nested if-else block is I will exactly know why my if-else failed. Here, you are able to know that your if-else failed because I have told you the actual value of logged in. But if this value would have not been available to you visually, then you would have not known what condition is failing, because this will give you true if all the conditions are true. So you don't know which condition has actually failed. But when you look at this particular situation, I can define a very interesting strategy. The first thing I can do is after every if-else block, I will print the reason, account balance checked. Okay. I will also define an else and print account balance low, something like this. Okay. So these are the two things I can do. So now if my condition fails because of account balance, I will exactly know what is the problem. Now inside this, once my account balance check is completed, I will add another if else. This is the nested if else. Okay. In this nested if else, I will quickly check if active account is equal to yes. I will print account active, and observe carefully. For this particular if, I will add an else in the same line, and I will write print account not active. यहां तक सबको समझ में आया? Yes or no? Till this part, is it clear to everyone? Any questions so far? Remember that this particular line signifies this if-else block. This line signifies this if-else block. So if you are writing an if or else, make sure that you put your values in appropriate alignment for everything to work seamlessly. Okay. Now, once the account is active, I have also printed that the account is active. Now, again, I will write another if-else block. So I will write if there will be a condition here, there will be an action here, then I will write else, and there will be another action here. Okay. So what is my next condition? Password is equal to 43. Print OTP validated. What is the other action? Print OTP invalid. So you can actually understand this method is very advantageous because you can actually send the right query back to the user of why their transaction failed. Earlier, we would have not known why the transaction failed. Right now, we know why the transaction failed. So anytime the transaction fails, you can actually print on the screen or tell your user that something is not working out here. Okay. Now, last if else, if logged in is equal to no, equal to yes, sorry. Here, I will print logged in. I will also print transaction successful. Else print logging error, print transaction unsuccessful. Is that clear, everyone? Yes or no? Now you can see account balance checked, account active, OTP validated, logging error, and transactional failure. Okay. So now let's say my OTP is wrong. It will actually tell me OTP invalid. I can actually put this statement at all of my else's. Wherever my else comes, I will print it everywhere. Clear है सबको? Two ways of expansion and adding multiple conditions, either horizontal expansion, all conditions at once, or vertical expansion, extending each condition one at a time and nesting and getting inside each condition. Guys online? Yes, no? Clear है सबको?
Yes, sir.
How to check step-by-step process in Python? What do you mean by how to check? I did not get your question.
Sir, actually in VBA, we can run the whole code at once, or we can do step by step so that we can find where we have made the error.
Yeah,
So
so
if
this is one entire code, okay?
Yeah.
But suppose if you want to have these two, you can actually split it into two cells. No, you can put it here, then you can add it here. Or I think what you are saying is which I think is
Debugging. Yeah.
debugging, right? So
Yeah.
for debugging, there are a lot of tools. I will give you an example. One of the ones it's been quite some time I have used debuggers, but I think PDB करके एक library आता है, import PDB. Okay, PDB यहाँ पे अगर आप डालोगे, suppose you keep PDB dot set underscore trace. When you do that here, it will actually take you through each and every line of code. I think that's what you're looking for. Yeah, so right now you are in this line of code, account balance checked. If you hit, I think N or C mein hota hai. If you hit N, then it goes forward. So account balance checked is printed. It has gone to the next line. If active account is equal to yes, N, right? At this particular point of time, if you want to check the value of any variable, you can actually check the value of any variable. You see, active account is equal to yes. Okay, suppose you want to check the withdrawal amount equal to yes. Clear hai?
Okay, sir.
So you can do it. Okay, PDB successful. And if you comment out the PDB, then things will work as normal.
सर सारे if एक तरफ और नीचे सारे else continuously से के साथ हम if और else का एक सेट बना के नहीं चल सकते?
नहीं, तो if और else का सेट इसलिए नहीं बन सकता क्योंकि ये else इस if के लिए linked है, which is why we were saying कि जब हम लोग बात करते हैं if else की, तो हम if else ब्लॉक की बात करते हैं. ये जो if else है ना, ये एक ब्लॉक है. तो आप यहाँ पहुंचोगे तब जब आप ये वाला सक्सेसफुली क्लियर करोगे. ये वाला if, ये वाला बड़ा if else ब्लॉक है.
Okay.
ये वाला, this one is the bigger if else block, right? You will reach this if else only if you are if you have reached this if properly. अगर आप ये successfully execute होगा तो ही आप आगे बढ़ पाओगे. तो सारा if एक जगह और सारा else एक जगह होने से link नहीं बैठेगा ना. Which is why you can see actually that there is a alignment कि ये वाला if or else एक part का है, ये वाला if or else एक part है, ये वाला if or else एक part. So the indentation actually tells you which if belongs to which else. Okay.
हाँ नहीं वो तो ठीक है सर, वो इंडेंटेशन से पता चल रहा है, बट अगर हम यही ऐसे इंडेंटेशन साथ में लेके चले स्टेप बाय स्टेप, मैं वो पूछ रहा हूँ.
जरूरी नहीं है ना, जरूरी नहीं है कि सबके में एल्स होगा, सबके में एल्स इफ होगा कि नहीं होगा. तो वो साथ में ही ऑकर करेगा इफ एल्स इफ और एल्स. मान लो ऊपर वाले में 3 इफ है, नीचे वाले में 2 ही एल्स है. एक इफ का कोई एल्स कंडीशन आपको नहीं है, नहीं डालना है. तब आई होप दैट्स क्लियर. नहीं क्लियर है तो वापस पूछिए.
क्लियर है, बट सर ऐसा है ना कि इस टाइप की जो वर्ड प्रॉब्लम है इसको कोडिंग करने में थोड़ा सा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड लग रहा है.
हाँ, तो कोडिंग इसलिए करने में कॉम्प्लिकेटेड होता है बिकॉज यू कीप राइटिंग ऑल द इफ्स विदाउट राइटिंग द एल्सेस. So you would have seen when I wrote an if, I immediately defined the else also. So I have written this part later. इसके ऊपर का और नीचे का ऑलरेडी मैंने लिख दिया था. Similarly, मैंने इस if के अंदर का पार्ट बाद में लिखा, इसका if और else पहले लिख दिया. That is why it feels difficult to code, right? Because लोग सब ये if लिखते जाते हैं यहाँ तक और फिर सोचते हैं कि ये वाला else इसका है, ये वाला else इसका है, ये वाला else इसका है, ये वाला else इसका है. If you write if and else together, later you can just delete the else. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. अभी अगर मैं ये delete कर देता हूँ तो nothing changes, right? Even if I comment this out, nothing changes. Even if I comment this out, nothing changes. Even if I comment this out, nothing changes. Okay? तो आपको वैसे लिखना पड़ेगा कोड strategically. Cool. Any other questions?
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, how are you commenting and decommenting multiple lines at the same time?
For me, it's command shift. For you, I think it will be control shift, yeah, window shift. I mean, so command and forward slash. For you, it will be Windows button if you have a Windows plus the forward slash button. You will have to first select the multiple lines that you want, and then keep holding Windows button and then click forward slash. I mean, then press forward slash. क्या?
Not happening. Not happening.
Try Windows की जगह Control Shift try कर लो. That also works, I think.
Nope.
Have you selected the lines that you want to comment out?
Yes, sir.
Control Shift, Option Shift और Windows Shift. यही तीन options है और तो कुछ नहीं है. Control plus forward slash works. Indrani, okay.
Work. Control and forward work.
Okay, guys, I hope this nested loop part is clear to everyone. Okay, so I think we'll stop here today, and in the next class we will cover. We'll also cover loops. We'll look at one small recap of the if-else block, and then we'll start with Python loops. Okay, I will quickly upload this notebook. And any questions, please post on the WhatsApp chat group. It's fine. And you will also be getting some practice problems, assignments for the if-else block. Let me just quickly write it down on the group for Rakib to make sure he sends you. Please share the if-else. Okay. Okay, so whoever wants to drop can drop. I will just upload the material and then we'll be done for the day.
सर जैसे अभी हम जो नेस्टेड क्वेरी कर रहे थे उसमें हमने इफ की स्टेटमेंट डाली, अगर वो ट्रू नहीं है और अगर मैं उसके नीचे ही एल्स की स्टेटमेंट डाल देता हूँ तो उसके आगे क्वेरी एग्जीक्यूट ही नहीं होगी ना, राइट?
एक सेकंड रुकिए. Let me just quickly upload. कहाँ गया नोटबुक? Time series. Stop. Indrani, after loops, we will start with pandas. So data sets will work we'll work on data sets after loops. Okay. I mean, loops ke baad functions will cover, and post functions will move to pandas. Okay. So let's say next week. So next week we'll cover loops and functions. Probably Sunday we might start with data frames, or next Saturday for sure. हाँ. Abhishek, what was your question? Please repeat.
मैं ये पूछा था सर, जैसे हम जो इफ स्टेटमेंट लिख रहे हैं जो नेस्टेड वाली, अगर मैं इफ के बाद इसी के नीचे, एक्चुअली मैं उसी पे अटक गया हूँ, इसके नीचे अगर मैं एल्स स्टेटमेंट लिख देता हूँ और अगर वो ट्रू नहीं होती है तो उसके आगे एग्जीक्यूट नहीं करेगा ना, देन पासवर्ड पे नहीं जाएगा, लॉगिन पे नहीं जाएगा, राइट?
अगर ये लेवल आपने क्लियर नहीं किया तो आप ये पूरे लेवल पे कभी जा ही नहीं पाओगे.
हाँ, क्योंकि मेरा वो थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन ये गूफ अप हो रहा हूँ कि इफ के बाद एल्स हम लिख सकते हैं, देन इफ एल्स वो ब्लॉक्स बनाने के लिए.
अच्छा, you share your screen. I'll try to help you out.
नहीं, मैंने इस पे लिखा नहीं है, मैं एक्चुअली सोच रहा था. मैं अभी
ठीक है, तो आप ट्राई करो. नहीं
हाँ.
होगा तो नेक्स्ट क्लास में अपन डिस्कस करते हैं.
ठीक है.
अलाइनमेंट और ओरिएंटेशन सही रखना होगा, अदरवाइज इट होगा.
ठीक है. नहीं, वैसे हम सर लिख सकते हैं ना, अगर इंडेंटेशन मेरी करेक्ट है तो.
अगर इंडेंटेशन करेक्ट है तो आप लिख सकते हो.
ठीक है, हाँ वही पूछ रहा हूँ मैं. ठीक है, फिर तो ठीक है.
Okay. Thanks everyone. See you all next Saturday. And please fill the feedback form. Yes.
नहीं सर, फीडबैक का अब तो आप ठीक ही चल रहा है.
नहीं भर दीजिएगा क्योंकि मेरे को मिला है खराब फीडबैक तो मैं इसलिए
अरे सर क्या बात कर रहे हो.
नहीं आई मीन जस्ट सेइंग
हाँ,
क्योंकि
नहीं,
मतलब
ठीक है.
फीडबैक दीजिए. अच्छा बुरा इज अ सेपरेट थिंग बट आई मीन वी ऑलवेज शुड गिव राइट फीडबैक. ओके
श्योर श्योर.
थैंक्स एवरीवन. गुड डे. बाय.